Hello and welcome to this channel of Andrology and men's health awareness. Today's video is about Azoospermia. So Azoospermia means there is no sperms, that is sperms which are responsible for the male fertility, which are responsible for fertilization of the egg of the woman to form a child. So then there is no sperms in the semen. There is semen, but there is no sperms in the semen. This is called as Azoospermia. Azoo means zero sperms in the semen. So as one would think, if there is azoospermia, how can father be a can bear a biological child? So previously, the patient with azoospermia generally did not have too many options, especially if the testes were dysfunctional. But with new advances in technology and new advances in surgical techniques and greater knowledge, now even men with azoospermia can bear a child in many different ways depending on his pathology or what is the cause of azoospermia, that is no sperms in the semen. So although a couple with azoospermia can have proper intercourse and after several months or years of trying, they generally are not able to bear a child. In such cases of infertility, definitely a male should be evaluated for, and when the semen analysis is done, to the surprise of the couple, there will be zero sperms in the semen, and that could be the main cause, and the female partner must have undergone multiple investigations. So for when any couple is being investigated, both the male and the female partner have to be investigated simultaneously for infertility. And for infertility, one should wait. We'll have another talk on what is fertility, but one should at least wait for 1 year of unprotected intercourse and then should investigate, unless the wife age, that is the female partner age, is very high and they are trying at a higher age, and it is better to get investigated before starting to try for a child. So azoospermia, as I said repeatedly, is the absence of sperm in the semen. So what are the causes of azoospermia? So it can be because of any obstruction in the tract from the testes through which the sperm travels and comes out through the penis, or it can be due to a defect in the testes or in the defect in the hormonal production. So to explain to be able to understand how it can be cured in a simple language for the layperson, I have made this line diagram, and I'll explain now what are the different causes which can lead to absence of sperm in the semen. So when there can be azoospermia, that is zero sperms in the semen, that is in the ejaculate. So as we can see in this, there is the brain, these are the testes, this is the tubes which carry the sperms, and this is the urethra. So the brain secretes hormones. These are the FSH and LH, namely the hormones. They stimulate the testes to produce sperm, and these sperms in this spermatic fluid travel through the tube. There is a vast difference, and then they go into the urethra. Here these sperms are then joined by this seminal vesicle, that is this creates the seminal fluid, and then they come out of the penis. So the semen that comes out contains the sperms and secretions from the vesicle and the prostate. So this is the pathway. So defect anywhere in these pathways can cause azoospermia or zero sperms in the semen. So if the brain, there is a pituitary gland in the brain, does not secrete hormones, and there is no stimulation to the testes, and hence they are underdeveloped and there is no sperm production. Hence, if there is a defect in the production of the hormones, it can lead to azoospermia. That is the first place. Secondly, if both the testes themselves have defects in them, or they are not capable of producing sperm, or the machinery for the production of sperm is defective, so sperms are not produced, and hence again there will be no sperms in the ejaculate when there is testicular dysfunction. So in the first one, there was hormonal dysfunction. So the testes was normal, but there was no hormonal production. So this is secondary testicular failure. And in the second one, the testes are not producing the sperm, so this is primary testicular failure. In these cases, there will be azoospermia. For primary testicular failure, both the testes have to be affected. So when there is no hormone production, or when the testes are dysfunctional, it is called as non-obstructive azoospermia. That is, there is no obstruction. Non-obstructive azoospermia, that is, there is no obstruction. Then what is obstructive azoospermia? That is, when there is obstruction. So then there is obstruction in these tubes, and then the obstruction has to be on both sides. When the tubes on both sides are blocked, it can again lead to semen being produced, but the semen would not have sperms. So that would be obstructive azoospermia, as in both these tubes are either blocked or both these tubes are sometimes absent, as in congenital absence of the tubes. This is the third area of the block. Then this is the seminal vesicle and the junction of this seminal vesicle and this tube, and if there is a block out here, again there will be no sperms from this in the semen, because the sperms come in the tubes but they are not able to come out if there is a block out here. So if this block is there, this can sometimes be corrected surgically by going in endoscopically and opening up this block, but has to be lower side out here. If it is out here, it can be corrected surgically. If these tubes are absent, obviously there cannot be any surgical options for correcting the block. Hence, in this case, the sperm has to be taken from the testes. There might be sometimes be block out here, that is, when the sperms are produced in the testes, they go through this epididymal tubule and then into the vas deferens. There could be a block at this level C on both sides. This could be due to infection, or this could be due to some trauma, infection, or some surgery. So this block can sometimes be corrected surgically by joining this tube to the tube above the block. So that is the last cause, where if both sides are obstructed higher up out here, there can be zero sperms in the semen. So that is non-obstructive azoospermia, that is either there is no hormonal production or the testes are dysfunctional primarily, that is non-obstructive. Obstructive, there can be obstruction at the level of the testes and tubules, there can be the obstruction at the level of these tubes, or there can be the absence of these tubes, or there can be the obstruction at the level of the junction of this tube and the seminal vesicle. Sometimes the seminal vesicle is absent. So these are the different levels of block. Sometimes, rarely, they can be blocked in the level of the urethra also, and this can also lead to absence of seminal fluid or decrease in the amount of seminal fluid. So these are all the causes of azoospermia, that is no sperms in the semen. Treatment varies for each of them, and I will discuss it further. So as I explained in the diagram, there can be a problem in the hormonal production, or it can be a problem with the testes, or it can be a problem with the tubes. Now suppose you go to an infertility specialist or some specialist, it is very important part to be able to identify the cause of these absent sperm in the semen is in physical examination of the testes along with the cords and along with other secondary sexual characters can definitely help us identify what is the cause. Careful examination can avoid unnecessary investigations, as people by hearsay do MRI, do ultrasound, and do all unnecessary investigations. Only after a particular examination with particular suspicion should investigations be done, and the semen analysis report has to be viewed very critically, the details of which are obviously not going to be important for a layperson, but the semen analysis, the volume and presence of certain elements such as fructose and the examination have to be correlated, and then only further investigation should be done. Otherwise it leads to unnecessary stress of doing excessive investigations and then waiting for the report and then trying to interpret what it is. So it is very important to be able to meet an andrologist who is going to be equipped with this acumen, and to be not to hurry into doing investigations, but the examination is very important. After this examination, as I explained in the diagram, there can be a particular assessment that this might be the level of block, and then we do targeted investigations. So this was my talk on the different what are the different causes of azoospermia, and I hope it is informative. You all can put any queries in the comment section, and further details can be seen in the description, in the link right description where I have put in the website. And also like and subscribe the channel. In the next video I will talk 2 separate videos about what is the treatment for obstructive absence of sperm in the semen and what is the treatment for testicular failure, the one whose testes are not able to produce sperm. This also can father a biological child, and with obstruction also, either with surgery or other sperm retrieval methods, there is a very good chance of being able to father a biological child. So that will be in my next video. Thank you.